Nobody is conspiring anything against you. You are not that special, is my philosophy to life. Lux cozy wala vests and then like chuddies and then do rain dance. It was so much fun. I will wake up tomorrow morning from next Monday. I will do better things. What nonsense.
Is it on the cards for you now? Now they're talking about potential husbands they could have been.
I am going to do it. I'm going to it out. I was head maid. Okay. I had apron. That other girl didn't have. If you speak well about yourself, then you are arrogant and you're not humble. Bullshit. I can tell you how amazing I am knowing that I can be replaced, and that is humility.
There are times when we will be receivers, but there are also times when we have to be creators.
I am okay. I will survive without you. No. We all have to coexist in this universe. We just don't have to eat at the same table.
Welcome to the Journey Within podcast with me, Shobha Rana. This is a podcast where we navigate through the personal growth journeys of our guests. Through their stories, experiences, and the life they have lived, we try to gain some insights and wisdom on how to live our lives better. We try to navigate through their process of self-discovery and transformation, the connection between our inner world and the outer world. My inner world, where the emotional processing of all the emotion, thoughts, and feelings happens, and the outer world, where we lead a life with an identity. But before we get into this interesting conversation today, let me make a plea here. Guys, we have discovered that 80% of our listeners are not our subscribers. So it's a humble request to everyone who's watching that please do subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and share if you like the content so that we reach a wider audience, so that we are able to spread these relevant conversations to the people who need these the most. Today, I have got a powerhouse of energy in the house. If I have to describe her in one word, I would just say this absolutely humongous power ball of energy. That's what she is. I have seen her journey up close for nearly a decade or more. She started out as an anchor, blossomed into this phenomenally talented actor, and now also an author. Please welcome Kubbra Sait on the Journey Within podcast.
Yee! Hello! Should we tell them like the honest truth?
What honest truth?
The truth is that we are doing this for the second time. Tell them, yeah, they need to know. I
know.
I remember I was telling you, like I was walking up these stairs and I was thinking to myself, I think I really, really love this girl. Or I must have had a lot of fun last time, which is why I'm like, no, maybe I should come back again. What exactly was that about? Let's do it again and find out. I don't know. I was like, okay, let's find out.
Let's find out. I'm so excited to have you back here. Koobs, your energy is infectious.
Thank you.
The things that you have done in the recent few years, you have made all of us so proud. I don't want to talk again and again about Sacred Games and the movies that you have done, the web series that you appear on. You are just so exceptionally talented.
I honestly, truly believe that what I'm trying to do with my world right now is literally like, if I'm being the best version of myself, I'm able to see the best version the world has to offer for itself. I'm not holding the world accountable for how I feel. It's not easy. It does not come to you without effort. It's not free. It takes discipline. It takes awareness. And it takes the ability to forgive yourself all the times that you aren't able to stick to the plan.
Yeah. What is the most difficult thing that you have forgiven yourself for?
So tons of things, Sometimes you just don't realize that you not talking to your cat, not saying bye to your cat before leaving your house is something that you probably need to forgive yourself for, because you're carrying that weight on you. Saying, yeah, I didn't say bye to Shifu. It could be something as little or as heavy as that. It could be losing a job. It could be losing a near and dear one. It could be so many things. Like, I remember being kind of like irked by this thing that happens as a phenomenon on social media, where when we hear about the sad passing away of somebody, we say, oh, more so if it was unnatural. We go like, oh, I wish you had spoken to me. It's not about you, my friend. We lost someone very close to us in the business, our peer.
Yes.
It was really it had nothing to do with you. It had nothing. I feel wherever we are, we take our time to process the grief that we've gone through with that person. Recognize that we will miss them in certain parts of our life. Wish them well, wherever this journey takes them next. The point that I was trying to make was that we think we're so important in so many places, consciously and subconsciously, that we need to forgive ourselves for many such moments. So that's like an ongoing process.
Yeah, I know. I totally get you. And the person you're talking about, she was one of my closest friend in the business. And a week before that happened, I had gone to Hyderabad to stay with her. We were there for 3 days, and it was very tragic. And forgiving yourself for things like those, when you knew that such a thing is happening, what could you have done? What could have been your role there? And all those things, that catch you, and then they grip you from all corners. And yeah, it's difficult to forgive yourself for those things, but learning that is important, because moving on is important.
I think it's not moving on from anything. It's actually just continuing to live. What are you moving on from? If you're connected to a dot, you're connected to the dot. You don't move on from the dot, you take the dot with you. Wow, that was interesting.
That was interesting, yeah.
Think of it graphically, think of it coming alive in 3D, and you will see it.
So from forgiving yourself, learning that, to forgiving others, what has been the most difficult thing for you to forgive?
Oh, I think we just spoke about that. Yeah, we just spoke about that. It's like learning to forgive is not a particular incident or a particular person or a particular situation.
But what has taken for you to come to this wisdom? Were you always like this?
No, of course not. I was an idiot. I was an absolute imbecile. I was absolutely... I'm sure I've had my shortcomings as a human being. And all of them, I can tell you with guarantee, absolute 100%, I'm sure about it. I was only projecting. Something that I wasn't able to communicate to someone. Not being able to have enough faith in the world that if I do tell them I'm weak, then maybe they'll find a way to help me. I never trusted the world at all. I was never able to use communication as a tool to tell them what I wanted. So it was very easy for me to get angry. I would get angry like that. Even now I get angry, but I know where it's coming from. There is a channel to that. Everything is a force, right? So I'm not saying a person cannot be angry about something, but earlier it wasn't anger, it was rage. And it was blinding rage. And I would take and mow anything that came down in its way. I was even then probably right. And I'm probably still right, because fundamentally there is something there that's not working for me, right? But if I use communication, if I am able to connect with my breath and I'm able to tap into the rage or the anger before it onsets, then I'm able to stop a wildfire. I'm able to nip it in the bud just by being aware. So for me now, I use my breath. Now, I didn't learn of it by myself. I learned of it through practice that was given to me as an advice by my therapist. So I feel it's really important to try these things that work for you. And then there is no way, Shobha, that I think any one of us can say we have control over like the circumstances or the world around us. I don't think any one of us are that powerful. But I do believe we do have the power over our own selves. And again, that's...
Recognizing that power is a lot of work. It takes certain experiences.
What isn't?
Yeah.
Why do we think that we have come? I mean, we're not items from the dollar shop. कि 6 महीना काम नहीं किया उसको निकाल के दूसरा वाला लेके आएंगे ना. It's not that. We have only this. This is it. It comes with the warranty. that, boss,
You are repairable.
this is a lifetime warranty. You don't choose to use that warranty, is your bloody problem, not universe ka problem. Nobody is conspiring anything against you. You are not that special, is my philosophy to life. Nobody wants to come and then hurt you. This is not happening to me. Why? Why is this happening to me? I genuinely, and I think there was a quote, someone had spoken about this. I think it's Jim Carrey. He says, life is not happening to you, Baba. Life is happening for you. And Jim Carrey doesn't speak like that. But do you understand what I mean?
I of course get it.
Because I do feel like that's so important for us to recognize. I feel like it comes from a lot of like when you feel like you are not good enough, then you automatically feel everything around you is not. I'm basically your mirror. And I try to mirror me to the world. What's within me is what I...
Do you now feel that you are good enough all the times?
That's what I say, right? Those are the days you forgive yourself for. But no, I think I've gotten to a place where I'm very, very comfortable with who I am.
Like you said earlier that you didn't be yourself with people because you didn't trust them enough. You didn't trust the universe enough. And that is sort of a mistake that you recognize, that the power lies within me. It's not that the universe is coming at me or anybody is coming at me. Now, that is such a superpower. That's such a, powerful place to be in, because you then from there become a creator and designer of your life instead of just a receiver. There are times when we will be receivers, but there are also times when we have to be creators. So more power to you, man. That's such a good outlook on life, Kubbra. You've come such a long way. I have seen your journey up close for the last at least 12, 13 years now.
13 years for sure. Because it's been 13 years that I've been here. So probably not 13 years, maybe 10.
10, 12. I remember meeting you for the first time in Goa. We were hosting. Do you remember?
We used to do so many of those shows, no?
Just used to be there.
We used to do switcheroos, you remember?
Yeah.
Some Monday, Wednesday.
You would do.
And then bloody Tuesday, Thursday.
We stayed in the Grand Hyatt. It was our home.
And then Sunday would be Mega Gala, where we both are doing different shows in different hotels. I'm like, wow, ye kya chal raha hai?
We're getting 700-800 people to go off.
It was insane.
Madness.
People used to dance, man, properly. Remember, we used to have rain dance.
Rain dance, oh my God.
And all our guys, this is crazy. But we have to tell you this story. This amazing audience that we used to have, family audience, used to wear their vests, Lux cozy wala vests, and then chuddies, and then do rain dance. It was so much fun.
Yeah, hosting that event was so much fun. I met you. You were my downstairs neighbor. I was in the first floor. You were on the ground floor.
Grand Hyatt.
Grand Hyatt, always.
So for the longest time, that was Goa for me.
Yeah.
That was
2013, to think of it.
That's 10 years ago. So that was, what do you say? That's when I thought that was Goa.
That was Goa,
because I had never seen anything else in Goa.
Yeah, same here.
I had never gone out of that hotel. So I even knew, when I go, one day I have spaghetti, one day I eat burger, one day I read a book in the pool.
Yeah.
That's Goa.
Exactly.
Then I host events and I go back home. This is all I did. We used to do this so much.
So much. I remember being there for months, 3-4 months. They would just keep alternating you one after the other in those shows. That was so much fun. From there, seeing you as an anchor, a powerful anchor. And then you became an actor, now an author. And all the things that you have done professionally. Why I say that I'm so proud of, because you've accomplished so much in all of those domains. You have accomplished respect of your peers. You have awards and all. I know you have won many, but even if I don't talk about the awards, the other things that you have accomplished, like I said, respect, like I said, nurturing your talent. I see you as a more refined version of a talent that you were, let's say, last year than now. So what is going on into this process of refining yourself consistently?
I think my main game is curiosity. It works for me. I'm curious to know about things. I feel as a child, I wasn't very, very, very curious. I don't think I was really interested. I was just too dim in my light. And now I'm bright. I really think I'm bright. Not like bright, but like bright. But do feel like I'm more curious, and your level of IQ doesn't have to mean anything with how curious you are. I'm just curious. I'm interested to know how someone does something. I'm very curious, like you, to understand that's the purpose of this conversation, right? Like, you're curious.
Yeah.
What the hell goes on in that person for them to tick? Like, whoa, okay, all right, cool. So I like doing that myself, but I do that on ground. And I do that as a matter of fact. I do that with human beings. Like I was telling my friend earlier this evening that I got into the elevator just now, earlier. I got into the elevator, and uncle and auntie who live, like, I think on the 4th floor, very old uncle and very old auntie, they met me and said, "You are in OTT show, na?" I said, yes, uncle, I'm in OTT show. I saw the trial.
Yeah.
You are in the trial? I said, yes, I am. That Kajol, is she nice? I said, Daddy, she's very nice. Why? So he said, no arrogance, no attitude. I said, no, uncle, she's actually very nice. I think we all are very nice, It's just that you project that we are arrogant, and now obviously, if you are not interested in knowing me, if you don't care, why am I going to go other expressing my joy to me to like make you feel comfortable? You being comfortable is your responsibility. And not only are you uncomfortable, you make the other person uncomfortable, and then you say, oh, no, it was about them. It's really not about them.
Actually, one thing that you've always maintained and said is that you'll always give answers if the questions are asked. Your life has been an open book.
Yes.
And that's the title of the book that you've written. So that is something that I've always appreciated about you, How do you challenge yourself to be a better version of yourself?
I don't know if there's a better version of myself. Like, for example, like people go like, oh, wow, like you're looking so pretty right now. I'm like, no, but I always look pretty, I just look like a different version of pretty. No, it's the evolution of a human being, right? So I think there is definitely some sort of joy that or flame that has been ignited from within. That's for sure. I think I'm very, very, very comfortable with, as I said, who I am. I'm not sure to the extent that, I'm invincible. I don't think anyone can be. We'll get chopped by like the next rainfall. I challenge myself by being this person who isn't afraid to fail. We were just talking about how I am admittedly set in a certain form. When that form gets disrupted, because you don't change the whole machine, right? You change that part of the machine. I don't know how this machine and how this part in the machine works, because I have not been interested in that. So why? Because I've always been scared. If I touch that part, I may get cut. I may get hurt. I may get burnt. I never touched that part. Now it stopped functioning. It's affecting the whole chain. So I learn about that, and I'm not afraid to fail to learn about that. Because like that, there are many parts in that chain. And the idea is to not forsake that tiny little guy, that small moving part in the entire chain.
Why do we have such a complicated relationship with failure?
I don't know, man. I honestly don't know how other people perceive failure and how complicated their relationship with failure is. But I think for me, I don't think my inner demons ever surfaced so much as a problem, or I was able to address them faster, because for me, my physical thing was never really an issue. I know there are a lot of girls, a lot of women, men even now, who are not comfortable with their physicality. I feel like a very large mass is not comfortable in their own body. So, भाई साहब, तुम अंदर का कचरा तो बाद में साफ करोगे ना, पहले तुम मरम पट्टी बिल्डिंग की कराओगे, राइट? तो तुम बाहर चूना लगाए जा रहे हो, मगर अंदर तो फिर भी खोखला है ना भाई. So you have two things to do. You have full building redevelopment to do, right? Either you are very comfortable, you look at yourself and say, dude, I'm heritage building.
Yeah.
Right? And I fix inside.
Yeah.
Right? But I do make sure that I fix the insides. So for me, my body, my exterior was something I was always comfortable with. Of course, there's tinkering that you need to do. Koi pipe kahin na kahin leak to hoga na bhai. So that I'll fix. But I was able to concentrate on the inner engineering of it. How that works. So for me, that's where I think
But do you think it's an outside-in process? Like first you fix your
I don't know, man. You could do that and that. But the whole idea is to accept that this is the body I've been given. What can I do to improve it? If it's not working for me. No one ever told you this is template, this is guide. Only if you have this, you can exist in this world. Right? You decided to not be comfortable. So I feel like if it works for you, then first accept yourself physically the way you are. First, 70% of your problems will be solved. Really, your 70%, your skin, 70% of your, like the largest organ of your body, skin. Accept it. Learn how to live in it, for God's sake, for your own sake. And then you can focus on the inside. But just be okay, with this. Now you can't rip it off and you're not snake.
But what are the things that one can do to fix their insides or to work on their insides?
No one has one thing, right? Like I learn from movies, I learn from people, I learn from my own situations and failures. I learn with failed relationships, I learn with failed choices of food on the menu. You can learn from anywhere. Learning is just around you, everywhere.
Accepting, learning, and then evolving from there.
100%. That though is going to happen. As you started ignition, you put petrol, it has to go forward. Na accelerator lagayega to aage jayega na.
What are the things that you used to believe in the past and now those things have completely changed for you? That's no longer your belief system or that's not how you see the world now.
Such a nice question, actually.
Because we hold so much of importance of who we are and what we think at every age.
Yeah.
So something that was true for me, let's say when I was a teenager or at 20, now I have evolved to believe that it was so insignificant or it was immaterial. What are those things for you?
Immaterial! You need to give me just this piece. It's for my CA. Every time I have a conversation with him, अरे नहीं कुब्रा जी वो तो immaterial है. तो मैं उससे भी सीखता है. Do you understand? So when something like this happens in life, now you look around you and you say ये immaterial है. और आगे बढ़ो भाई. इतना simple है ना. Like the minute you start making a joke about it, the minute you start laughing about it, you start realizing, अरे यार मैं तो unnecessary tension लेके घूम रहा था ना सर पे. Friendship relationships, I don't think that any relationship, any name tag you can give it, mother, father, like whatever, close relatives, close friends, best friend, whatever tag you want to give it, right? None of your relationships come with a guarantee that they are going to leave the world with you. You need to be okay with the fact that relationships will end. And people will move on. Because you will move on too. You will separate yourself from very many things. From very many behaviors. From very many patterns. You will move on. So that's relationships then.
How your idea of love has evolved in the last few years?
I think I'm still figuring love out. For me, I haven't had the time to sit and learn about love too much. I knew it was a very large emotion for me, but I think it's only been this year that I said that I am going to give a damn. I am going to give about love. I am going to do it. I'm going to figure this shit out. That's where I am.
You haven't figured out love yet, as in have you ever been truly madly?
I felt that thing, but then again you have a very large conditioning that plays on your mind na, that नहीं यार इसको दोस्त नहीं पसंद करेंगे, इसको ये नहीं होगा.
Have you cared about all that as well?
As a child, of course, na. All those boyfriends we dated, they all would have been potential husbands, na. Right? We didn't marry any of them because we didn't have sensibility then. Now we have.
Yeah.
Now we don't care.
To marry?
We'll see.
Are you telling something?
What are you, Zoom TV?
I'm just trying to, the friend in me is jagoing now.
She's black kitty on the problem. No, there's nothing, Shobha Rana.
From
Relax,
the journey within, I've now, switched to the friend mode and I'm like, is it on the cards for you? Now they're talking about potential husbands they could have been.
See, I believe in marriage.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. I think it's a great idea to, I don't know, pin someone down and say, "Tu mere saath ab bitayega time."
I see how uncomfortable you are even talking about.
No, I think it's a great thing. I'm just trying to, how more intimidating I can be. I like the idea. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Put sign and say, okay, now you are now with me. And okay.
Yeah.
Sab ada.
Okay.
But you can take 70%. No responsibility, kharcha.
You can do 70%.
Let him do 70%. At 30 we can do. At 30 is still me.
Yeah.
You do you, boo. And do us.
And do a little bit for us.
Us. You do. Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's like the conditioning I have.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not true. I don't know.
Mm. But the independent woman that you are, how does that impact your relationships per se? Are you this independent, fierce woman even then? Like you're saying that 70 you do, 30 I do. But are you really okay with that when that happens in a relationship? Or you're like, no,
yeah, very interesting. I think it's very threatening. It's very scary. It's something that I'm wary of. Because I do remember becoming... Hi, I'm cuddly teddy bear. Then I know I can't do this anymore.
You have been I can't
believe
it.
Yeah, it's a farce. I am not that person. I am not that person who goes like, no, you see, na, you order. That's my idea of like
I have to be in a relationship
girl.
that.
Yeah, the girl talks like that. Yeah. For a very long time, that was my impression of the girl. Yeah. But I am girl. I am like this. Girls are like this also. Yeah. Why I am being that person? So now I'm not that girl. That girl in the head, I'm not that girl. I am me. I need someone who's secure, being who they are. Then magic. It'll happen.
Have you been able to meet such people across?
Not necessarily. It doesn't happen. And also you're talking about connections, right?
Yeah, connections.
It's easy to live in the illusion that every connection is real, solid, and is going to last you forever. But we already said that nobody lasts forever. Sad story, but true. Now, swallow pill. But that being said, living everything for what it is and how it makes you feel in that moment, I think that is something that is something I'm learning how to appreciate and enjoy. There's like this old conditioning that will kick in and be like, oh, shouldn't you be like naming this? Yeah. Should you not be like, talking about this? So there's like that college girl in me that wants to come out and be that person. I'm like, no, you're an adult. Act like one. Not my friend says this. He says, act your age, not your shoe size. So maybe
that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
But to make the decisions that you make, the bold decisions, sometimes you have to act like your shoe size, no?
True.
That courage and that inhibition that comes from being a child is gives you boundless strength.
I believe it gives you a lot of strength. Yeah. So I feel very strong. That is true.
Yeah. So you oscillate between being your age, and I'm not saying just the number, but the wisdom, the experiences, all of that you've accumulated for yourself. And then you switch back to being a child when the situation demands. Because sometimes you need this relentless courage to go after things. Yeah. That does not come from wisdom. Because wisdom tells you to sort of balance things out and figure it out and rationalize and logic and all of that. Sometimes things don't fit into that bracket. Sometimes they're just, you go after them and you find out, even if you fall flat on your face, that's what you get. And accept it with grace. So
yeah, Because then you can rise again, no?
Yeah.
At least that's thought. I don't know, it's food for thought.
Kubza, the person that you are today, you're comfortable in your own skin, you're comfortable with the things that you're doing personally, professionally, you're at peace with yourself. But are there still some insecurities? Those are there in your mind and your heart.
They are insecurities if you acknowledge them. If they aren't, if you don't.
So what is it like? Do you not acknowledge them or do you not give them a name because you don't want to?
Okay, I'm driving this car down the road and then there's a speed breaker. I look at the speed breaker. Do I stop my car and never move?
Of course, you slow it down and then you
slow
cross.
It down, you cross, and then you go back to your normal speed. That is an insecurity for me.
If you can simplify it that much, it's just so beautiful. Insecurities then don't come at you like that. They don't,
the speed
eat you
breaker is
up.
there. I have to cross it if I have to go home. Whenever you wake up, it's good morning.
Of course, 100%.
So wake up. I will wake up tomorrow morning. From next Monday, I will do better things. What nonsense.
Yeah. It doesn't work like that.
And neither am I saying change everything today. No. At least wake up.
The waking up is basically believing that life is really that simple and then uncomplicating it from there. Yeah, acknowledging, accepting, and even being in the awareness that in the future also I'll be having these insecurities or demons in my head dancing and I have to make my way through them. And
do I choose to go to the disco party with them? That's really up to me.
Yeah, I think we all have been to the disco party with them to learn better. Yeah, you have danced
बहुत मजा किया.
with your inner demons.
100%.
You had a disco party with them.
100%. So many times.
Yeah. Now to know that let them be wherever they are dancing and I'll make my way, like choose another way to pass by. That's a beautiful way to live life. Kubs, as an actor, you've had this phenomenal journey, right? You started with a small role in Ready. We were talking about it yesterday that, 45 days they hired you for that small role, which was like literally a couple of lines in the movie, which translated into that. From there, as an actor, you've grown to go on the big screen, on the OTT screens, on every screen possible, basically. So how has this evolution been for you over the years? And what are your learnings out of this whole process of becoming an actor and molding yourself into characters and, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially? How has this journey been?
I don't know. I think it's been a rather short duration, if I make sense.
Ready was what, 10 years ago? More.
10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah. Everyone told me I was idiot to do it. I said, dude, who's going to give me an opportunity in a city where I don't have anyone's number? Jo aa raha chup chap karo. And acha karo. And that time YouTube and all was not that big.
It wasn't there only.
It wasn't there. So I did not have videos to see कि नवाजुद्दीन सिद्दीकी ने सरफरोश में ऐसा एक सीन किया था और उसने चिंदियां कर दी थी उसमें. We had no reference that if you do small part also you can become one day very big actor. No one ever told you that. Also, let me clarify. I was told it is parallel lead.
What?
Relax. I was head maid. Okay. I had apron. That other girl didn't have.
Oh, wow.
This is how you spin it.
Yeah. I was head maid.
I was head maid, dude. My name was Nena.
Yeah.
Which maid I
Which maid has that name? That's a main character.
Every maid has Didi.
I know.
I had name.
Yeah. Nena is a main character name from that movie. Kal Ho Na Ho.
Yes. I am name. Nena. Okay, please. So, everyone said I was idiot to do it. I thought I was not. So I did. Then I did another movie. Then I did another movie. Like, acting is being able to recreate a lived emotion in your head, in your soul, in your energy field, anywhere. In your own personal life, physically. But the idea is to recreate that. But where do you create it from? Right? So I need to be as receptive as I can be to the world around me so that, I don't know, maybe this will one day work in some situation. I will never even realize that I've used it.
So Kubbra, do you think that being a better human being and being a better professional, these two exist in isolation or there is some connection out there?
I don't know. I think we give a lot of weight. on the correlation of them.
Like, can you be an amazing professional and a bad person?
Yeah.
There are people like that.
Sure. There are people like that. I'm sure there are people like that. I'm sure I have been like that. Where my intent was to be a good person, but I was the shittiest person, but I'm a very good professional. No one can do what I can do. I guarantee you that. But did you not stick up to your end of the barter? Now I'm a horrible person. So that's something that you need to deal with on an everyday basis. It's something that is your devil's dance every day. And you need to figure that shit out.
But working on your own self to become a better human being, do you think that translates into your work also? Your work
100%,
becomes better?
Without doubt. You become... It's bizarre that you said, oh no, but you become humble. And I thought that was really cute and funny at the same time. But I think like we've been kind of somewhere conditioned or taught that if you speak well about yourself, then you are arrogant and you're not humble. Bullshit. I can tell you how amazing I am knowing that I can be replaced, and that is humility.
Humility is not deflecting compliments.
Thank you.
This is something that I've recently learned.
No, I'm not the gentlest soul. I agree. I'm not the gentlest soul, but I don't take that as something I need to reprimand myself for, because I do know if you ever questioned me about my intent was never to bring you or anybody else down. If anything, I want you to feel so bloody proud of your own self. Like when you wake up, like I did for example, I remember the first time I hosted a show with Shah Rukh. I don't know why this thought occurred to me just now, but I remember when I did my first show with Shah Rukh, right? He moved chairs and and it was the first time I was hosting an event with Shah Rukh, the Shah Rukh Khan. And I remember after the show, I said, today I need to get paid. Because today was one of those days I could have fumbled. Because I'm so enamored by that man.
Who isn't though?
I said, today I need to get paid. Today I earned it. Today I didn't let me come in my way.
Yeah.
Today I get my check. And it's so amazing because he is such a gracious man and everything. But this is really not, I'm just talking about like that thing to say, no, I'm not humble by saying I did my job well. I'm not humble by saying, thank you, I believe so too. You're wearing a damn good dress. Thank you. I believe so.
Yeah.
Why would you end up like spending 20 minutes in front of your wardrobe and take the shittiest outfit out of that and wear it on you?
You wouldn't. Of course.
Koi bol ke dikha de, oh wow, you're looking so pretty. I just go took this from wardrobe. I didn't even have time to iron it. Crying.
You are not that person at all. Like, yeah, I'm looking.
So
good.
I'm not the softest person to explain a certain thing.
You've never been, Kubbra.
Yeah, but I know my intent cannot be questioned. I never want anyone to fail.
Yeah.
But earlier I used to step into their shoes and play the game for them. I would at least try to. Now I say, boss, go buy your own board game, read the rules and play your own game. Now I'm not that guy. Because everyone has access to this shit.
Right. It's a choice one has to consciously make by recognizing if what you're doing is serving you or not. Yeah. If it's putting you in a better physical, mental, emotional state or not. And if it isn't, it's not working for you. And that onus lies on you to recognize that and then fix it up. And everything I believe is fixable. Do you believe so?
Yeah.
Everything is fixable. Yeah. Everything you can come back from or go to.
I believe you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because what happened in that moment. That moment is already gone. What you do post that moment is the present, and what happens as a result of that is the future, right?
And it's wise because you have lived that to say this. You're not just saying it. Because whatever little or more of your journey I've seen you navigating through this, so to speak, shit.
It is Shawshank Redemption for me. You have to go through the shit if you want to land in the clean. river of water. If you do want to, you have to go through that shitty tunnel. It is Shawshank Redemption. It takes effort. Everything takes effort. Nothing comes easy. Please, everyone needs to understand that. When we went for the screening of the trial, when I came on screen, the audience, like the auditorium was full, and I must have had about 25, 30 people just scream when I showed up on that screen. That's wealth for me. That's what I've created for myself. That's why I'm secure today. Because I created that. That was not by accident. It didn't just come and fall into my lap and I'm like, whoa, I'm surprised I have friends. No.
Do you really have a lot of friends in Mumbai now in all these years?
I don't think so. I still have my 4 or 5 friends. I still have friends who I count on my fingertips. Not more than this. But I have tons of people now who are my peers. Who are my... Like, for example, I texted Huma. Huma's born on the 28th of July. I'm born on the 27th of July.
Your birthday is tomorrow?
Yeah. But when I saw Tarla, I was so blown away. Like, she's not just my peer. She's also the shared circle of inspiration for me. Right? I call her to tell her that we share a common circle of inspiration because that's the energy we're giving our universe right now. If she does well, there is no way that I won't do well. If I do well, there's no way that the other people in that circle of inspiration won't do well.
While you're saying so, Kubbra, you're also in a fiercely competitive business.
We all are. No business today. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make light of what I do.
But how does one go through this competition?
It isn't a competition, na?
Do you believe that
बस
you'll
हो
get
गया
what...
ना तुम ऑलरेडी तुम्हारा 20 साल 30 साल ऐसा इडियट जैसे जिया है ना कि कंपटीशन है कोई तुम्हारे साथ दौड़ ही नहीं रहा है. Get in the car and everybody is stuck in the same traffic. How are you saying that you are in some race? Race में कभी traffic देखा है?
If you are appearing for a job and there are 10 more people who are lining up for that.
The best one should get it. The most competent one should get it. Whoever gets into an audition and says, यार ठीक है किसी और को दे देना, कौन करता है यार?
Of course, you're there to win, but you're not attaching your worth, your talent, or your definition of who you are or who you can be with that win or loss.
Correct.
Bang on. So this brings me to my next conversation, that you have done some inner work over the years and you've been vocal about it through your social media. You've talked about your mental health situation. You've talked about therapy. So from all of this journey that you have been through, what are the learnings or what are the ways that one can really start looking inwards and start working on themselves?
One thing that works for me is meditation. Now, most people have resistance and talk about, meditation is not for me. Don't howl. It's okay. I read this amazing thing somewhere. If you can't sit with yourself for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, it's a stretch. Before you sip your coffee, take a moment. Before you say a word, take a moment. Before you pick something up, take a moment. All of those moments are meditation. Just don't go andha like one batshit crazy person through world and through the universe. Because the force with which you're moving, you maybe don't need that. Abhi gaadi mein baitha, theek hai? Cruise control dabaya. Wapas accelerator press karta hai kya? Nahi na. Pehle you press the accelerator, you put cruise control. Now chill. Learn how to chill. When you learn how to chill, you're meditating. But learn. Be okay with chilling. Not everything is Panipat ka battle yaar. Okay, so 1. 2, what works for me, you need to be grateful for where you are right now, because I saw this post again on Instagram. 5 years ago, we were praying to be where we are today.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
When you are in that moment, you forget to live it and enjoy it. Then you're chasing on for the next thing that you want to come true for you in the next 5 years.
5 years ago, I was begging for this moment. It's here.
Yeah.
Come on. Take a moment. So I think those 2 things would really work for people.
Kubbra, you spoke about meditation. What is your process of meditation? Everyday meditation.
I try to do it like as soon as I wake up. So it's really hard for me to I find it hard that because my hand goes to my alarm. when I switch my alarm off, I usually take the phone and get to the next pending message, or because the sleep mode goes off, everything arrives. So I'm trying to break that. Okay, switch off alarm, put it aside, get up. I have a meditation chair, so get down and meditate. I keep those tools at arm's length. So I either run into it or I see it and it reminds me I need to do it. And it's bizarre. You don't think like, oh, but you have too much time. No. Because I do this, I have a lot of time. Because I do this, my rest of the day feels correct. If I don't do this, the rest of the day would just tumble over me. So I try to do it like first thing in the morning. It helps me.
It has worked for you, so your belief is only strengthened to do it like a practice.
Yeah.
And do it every day.
I also try to like sometimes sleep with affirmations. Works, yeah. Should never write something off. Have you tried it? Maybe it doesn't work for you. Then don't do it. But before you've tried it, नहीं मेरे को काम नहीं करते. कैसे पता तुमको काम नहीं करता?
Yeah, I truly believe so. When I used to also hear these things that, write down things that you're grateful about and all that. It doesn't work. What is I'm going to get by writing that I'm grateful for this day, I'm grateful for waking up. But actually after doing that practice, yeah, but actually after doing that practice for a few years, I realized that there is so much magic in those words and there is so much acknowledgement of the life that you're just living, which is such a dream life. There's so much of real meat and happiness there. That's what even I have learned. So I think these all subjects are very experiential rather than objective or subjective and all of that. I think one has to do these things to experience the magic. Then only it unfolds. You cannot learn about it into some, it's not like a math equation that you put a few things together and it'll come
it's not a theorem that we can prove.
Yeah, you can prove. You can't. You have to just live it to experience it. And the more and more you start practicing it and making it a part of your life, the magic unfolds from there for you. There's so many things that you have said in such a simpler manner, Kubbra. And I like your definition of confidence versus arrogance. People perceiving you in a certain way, but not being attached to how they're perceiving you and not defining your self-worth from there and not feeling down because people are not liking you for being a certain way.
Yeah.
But rather, seeing it more objectively and seeing it from a place of intent. That, I'm not coming from this intent to hurt you or to come at you or to be a person who is, arrogant. You're coming from a place of just being yourself in that moment, whoever you are in that moment, whatever you wish to say or do in that moment. And when you are this person who is unapologetically being themselves, do you also end up hurting certain people who don't align with who you are?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. And do you feel that hurt is then right, that causing that hurt is right?
First of all, there's nothing called right and wrong, good and bad. None of that, I think. Too much pressure. So we only complicate our lives in two broad strokes. There's a lot in between. Whatever energy you attach yourself to, that will be the outcome. So now I do not regret not attaching myself to an energy I don't feel adds anything to me. I'm cognizant of that.
Has it simplified cutting off people from your life for you?
Yeah.
And you're okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not again coming from a place of arrogance. I am okay, I will survive without you. No. We all have to coexist in this universe. We just don't have to eat at the same table. We can still walk down the same streets. We just don't have to walk hand in hand. I don't wish you bad, but I don't wish you ill. That doesn't mean that you don't exist in those walls. Of course you do. I can always attach myself whenever I want.
But that's the choice that you're making.
100%.
It's about the alignment. If people or things or situations are not in alignment with where you are in your life at that point or where you want to go, then it makes sense to align yourself towards the things those align with you, I guess.
Maybe it's not that simple.
It involves emotions, it involves a mental bandwidth and a bunch of other.
No, and it also is really who you are as a human being. Are you doing this to push people away? Or do you really genuinely believe they don't contribute to your growth as a human being anymore? Do they make you anxious? Do they make you feel comfortable? Do they bring you an elated sense of self? Or do they take away from you from your own, I don't know, everyone has like an identity, right? Like, do they deplete from that identity? Do they take away, do they subtract from that identity? So no, it's not that simple. So it's not like, oh, if this happens, then that happens. No, it's not. It's a lot more permutation and combination, which is why I feel it's got nothing to do with the other person. The boundaries that you draw, this boundary I have drawn, this boundary. Okay? I tell you, this is my area, this is your area. This boundary is to tell you, you don't cross into my territory. We can always speak at the fan. But listen, there is a gate and there is a key. You are welcome if you promise not to destroy the plants and the hedges. Come now, open, welcome, leave, but go back to your territory.
Yeah.
We have been taught codependency for too long, right? You are the person who makes me complete rubbish. Nobody completes you. Nobody at work, nobody at home, nobody completes you.
Nobody can complete you.
Yeah, but that's something that you have lived and learned and you know that. And I think it's just about that. I think इतना basic awareness है यार लोगों में. ऐसा नहीं है कि इतना awareness नहीं है लोगों में. है, इतना तो है.
Awareness हो या नहीं हो कुब्रा, लेकिन इतना सारा conditioning है ना, that you codependency, like you see that happening in a lot of relationships. Yeah. I really hope so. This conversation,
listens, maybe,
yeah, this conversation is an eye opener, because in relationships and friendships, because we feel that we are so dependent on the other person, we put so much pressure that even if it had to survive and stay up, it crumbles down because of you being codependent on the other person. If you take ownership of your own happiness and creating your own security, dealing with your insecurity, your demons, and sorting yourself out, basically, it helps you to be and show up as this new version of yourself in a friendship, and then that friendship goes in a different direction. Then it has a different fate, basically. Yeah. Having said so, Kubbra, the last question that I want to ask you, that of the wide spectrum of things that you have seen in your professional career, in your personal, life, the wide range of experiences that you've had, some not so good, some not so bad. When I think about your experiences, I can just straight away go to the open book, because I've read it and I know some really dark things that you have really lived through. You
and everyone else who has read the book.
Yeah, of course. And I felt that I was living those moments with you, Kubbra.
Yeah. That's very kind of you to say.
No, for real. When I read that story about that uncle of yours who sort of, I would say, molested you for 2.5 years.
Sort of.
Yeah, he did molested you, right? He did molest you for 2.5 years. It took me back to an uncle of mine. I was all of 9 years, man. And this man, so it was like a horrible. We were tenants at some place. There were 2 people. This man lived upstairs, and every time I would go upstairs to the terrace, he would just come by. He would just offer me some chips, some cookies or something, and he would try touching me here and there. I didn't have the language for it. What was this happening? Because I came from an army background, Kant area, living in all that. I've just come to Delhi. I don't know what is happening. We're living in just one room and a kitchen kind of a setup here. And that man did all of that. And I just couldn't figure. It's just that it gave me shivers to go to the terrace then. And we lived there in that house for 1 year, and it kept happening on and off, because you would go to the terrace, right? I didn't know what to tell my parents. I was all of 9 years old. Then when we shifted from that place to another house, as a 9-year-old kid, I ensured that my father wrote his number down somewhere, the landline number of that house. So it was like a house where 5-6 rooms were there, 5-6 tenants used to live. So my father wrote down everybody's number. I tore that page off the diary because I didn't want him to be able to reach this man ever, and that man to have our access. So he didn't have our access because we moved to a new house. So we were yet to get our landline phones. This is like some 30 years ago, like 25 years ago I'm talking about. So we're yet to get our landline phones. I don't know how in 2 years time or some 3 years or something, that man could establish contact with my father. And then he came visiting our home. I was now 12, 13. I just couldn't go in the room. He kept asking for me. And to date, I have not said this to my parents, and it was just horrible, horrific. He didn't do anything like, he didn't sort of.
But it's not.
Yeah. It's still a lot, right?
Oh, he was not an asshole. That means he was good. No, it's not.
No, he was.
He was not an asshole. He was just another human being.
Yeah, no, he was.
So there's no medal that you get for not being an asshole. Sorry. Like, what kind of reverse psychology? What is,
no.
I will give you an award for not being an to begin with. Yeah, so
that's what
I understand.
Yeah, so
I'm sorry. But yeah, I think writing this book made me meet a lot of brave young girls, women like you, because then I felt I did not go through anything in isolation.
Yeah.
We may not have shared this, we did not have this conversation while we were in the same room over chai and biscuit.
Yeah.
At that time.
Yeah.
But I was not living this alone.
Yeah.
You were living this in your timeline, in your universe. Someone else was in some other place, in some other geography. And that's what connects us together. Not our trauma, but our resilience and our win over it.
Of course.
And that's what we need to recognize every day. By sharing stories, we empower each other.
That is the only idea of me bringing out this podcast, because I want to talk about things like these that really make us who we are. These stories of resilience, these stories of passion, these stories of grit, tenacity, all that it takes, and also trauma. It's very important to recognize and heal from your trauma is something that I learned. So this part of my life, I was able to share much later, I think about 4 or 5 years ago, with a friend of mine. Imagine, so many years have gone by and a part of you is still processing it in some way because you're not letting it out. Maybe it's not a very conscious processing. Maybe it's not in your processing every single day. You're not thinking about it, but it is somewhere there in your system rotting. And to take that rot out of your system is work. And that is what I think Open Book has given to a lot of people.
I hope so. That's
of
kind
course.
of you to say, but I really hope so.
Yeah.
And for me, Open Book is like a journey to not say, oh my God, I am so much cooler than you. No, it's really about, for me, it was an exercise of freeing myself. And I realized many people who read the book were able to free themselves too. And that was an interesting thing. You don't think something is going to be bigger than you. And I feel like writing a book in itself is something that you're leaving for much after you're gone. This is like a blip in time.
Yeah.
It was a good little all right, let me close this chapter here and let me start. That's what it did for me. And literally last year, this time, tomorrow is when the book was
launched.
Yeah.
It's been a year to the book. And I really hope that it keep inspiring people like
Thank
it
you.
has for this year. Yeah,
we all share the same circle of inspiration.
Yes, I do, for sure. I take a lot from your energy. I take a lot from everything that you're building and, creating every single day. So thank you for doing that.
Yay.
Just one last question. I was coming to that. What is your definition of success, Kubbra, having seen so much over the years?
I think for me, it changes every day. But I look at, I know it sounds like really philosophical in that sense, and probably it is even, but if I brush twice a day, I think it's success.
Bingo. Thank God somebody said that.
Isn't it?
Yeah. What is the longest that you've gone without brushing your teeth?
Wow, we're really doing this, is it?
Let's do that. I can tell you my number.
I think mine was 4 days.
Mine is 3.
You
won.
But I was in the mountains, so.
I was in a very dark place.
I would do like the kulli, but I would not use the mouth.
Yeah, because it was so cold.
Yeah, man.
Of course.
Who'll brush, then wash face also? You're mad or what? No. Very cold ice water cannot do.
Yeah, I have not showered for like 10 days.
I've also not showered.
Yeah.
What is there? Showering? Who needs to?
Who needs to shower? It's all snow everywhere around you. Why do you need to shower at 14,000?
And you're wearing 8 layers of clothes. Itna nikalega.
Of course, 14,000,
This is what I'm
15,000
saying.
feet.
Prioritize, boss.
No,
You
no need to
take
shower.
a shower, no?
Of course,
Moisturizer, sunscreen, really.
Yeah. No, but why I was saying that, Bingo, someone said that because when I say I didn't brush for 3 straight days, for me, I was in that darker place in my life that I just didn't have the strength to get up from the bed. So when getting up and brushing my teeth was winning, So
I never knew that, but see, there you go. We should.
Yeah. So it's a beautiful way to look at success. So thank you so much, Kubbra, once again for coming on the Journey Within podcast. Yeah,
we did this again.
Oh man, don't embarrass me, man. I'm already
telling
so
you, I either
embarrassed.
really, really love you, or I had a lot of fun last time. But I'll guarantee tell you I had fun this time.
Yeah, you did. Thank you
so this was really
much.
good. Like at least I remember this.
Yeah.
For today,
I always have fun with you whenever we meet. Whether it's a cafe, that's your favorite cafe. Whether we have met there and have conversation.
You know the place shut down.
Did it?
Yeah. Pali Village Cafe doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, wow.
Like not where we saw it.
Okay.
Now
it's gone to the other. Yeah,
but it's not the same anymore.
It's not the same.
Feeling is in there.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, whether it's at a restaurant or on a couch or on phone or getting bashed by you, all that has happened over the years. I've always enjoyed talking to you, and I wish that we continue to stay connected.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. And you grow and flourish and allow love to seep into the cracks.
You allow love to seep in.
100%. I'm actually saying this for myself, not to you. It's really got nothing to do. I do a lot of content. I can entertain myself for hours. I talk to myself for hours. I actually have like 2 voice conversations with myself. So yeah. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. It was really nice having this conversation.
Thank you so much, Kuku.
Thank you, Shobha Rana.
Happy birthday to you. Happy 40th, man. It feels amazing.
Thank you.
Hey guys. Video ka end aa gaya hai, and if you have made it to the end, that means that you have liked and enjoyed this conversation. And if you have, please do like, comment, share, and also subscribe to the channel. That's very important. Let's spread good content as much as we can. And if you have any feedback, comment section is your friend. Thank you, guys.